Well, good morning. Thank you for being here today. It is wonderful to see so many here in the audience, here to support Murfreesboro City Schools. We are pleased with this wonderful opportunity to share information and a little bit about our story for our city schools. As a new principal to Tennessee and to Murfreesboro City School, it is a pleasure and such a wonderful treat to see so many people that are here, based in partnerships with our faith-based organizations, nonprofit, city governments, and officials and elected folks that are here as well. We appreciate your time and commitment to Murfreesboro City Schools. In addition, we are pleased to see our central office staff here who is wired to the core in supporting our students every day. Without further ado, I'll turn it over to Ms. Phillips.
Hi, I'm Thea Phillips, principal of Salem Elementary, and it is a pleasure for me to introduce you to a few of our principals. I think you had the opportunity to meet some of them as you walked in. If you are a principal, please stand. These are some of the most dedicated and hardworking men and women, and I'm honored to work alongside of them. Also, today, many of our school board members are here. They get the unique opportunity to support our district and our teachers. If you are a school board member, would you please stand? Thank you all so much. But most of all, I am thrilled to introduce you to our Salem Student Council. I am delighted that we were able to participate in this unique opportunity. These students, they were elected by their peers. They worked hard to get elected, and they just got elected Friday. So this is their first event this week. So without delay, I would like to introduce Marissa King and Alana Killings, they are our vice president and president. Please come up to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I'm Lisa Trail. I'm the Communications Director for Murfreesboro City Schools, and I'm thrilled to see you here. Mr. Roche actually forgot to introduce himself. I think the camera threw him off a little bit, but he is the principal at Bradley Academy. I also have the privilege of introducing our Teachers of the Year for Murfreesboro City Schools. In fact, one of them actually made it to the Middle Tennessee Teacher of the Year category. So Ms. Kim Inglis and Mr. Lance Piercy are going to lead us through the next process. So I'm going to give the microphone to Kim. And again, Teachers of the Year on the district level last year.
Okay, so I'm going to share a little bit about our numbers in Murfreesboro City Schools. We have 13 schools across 14 campuses. We serve 9,340 students, and we're the 21st largest district in the state out of 145. We have 796 certified instructional staff and 1,954 total employees. The diversity of Murfreesboro City Schools. Our smallest school serves 340 students, and our largest school serves 1,049 students. Our demographics, we are 45.5% white, 25.3% Black African American, 16.6% Hispanic Latino, 8.6% multiracial, and 3.4% Asian. 32% of our students are directly certified economically disadvantaged, and 51.2% of our students qualify for free or reduced lunch. 11.3% of our students are English language learners, and 19% of our students have a language at home that is something other than English. As you can see from our numbers, I represent one small piece of this collective whole whose purpose is to set our students on a path to success. As educators, we help students set and achieve big goals. We help students grow and develop academically and socially to prepare them to become the next leaders, problem solvers, and innovators of our community, because that is our purpose as educators, to develop moral, creative learners who become productive members of society, ready to take on the future. Belief that they can have an impact on our community starts early. When I think about the educators of MCS, I know that we are instilling this belief in students while providing them the skills and knowledge needed to make it a reality.
Good morning. As a teacher and as a parent to 2 MCS students, I just want to say that your presence here today speaks volumes to your commitment to our students and our district, so thank you. I once heard an example of how parents and school leaders and staff and community members who all work together are like the 4 legs on a stool. Collectively, we can provide stronger support for our students. As educators, we are always trying to make real-world connections, and your partnerships can bring a lesson or a STEAM project to life for deeper understanding and open doors in our students' minds for possible career opportunities. As a parent of a 4th and 1st grader, I love hearing about their school day, and I can always count on a story from a community member's visit. So thank you for showing our students and my children that success is not about reaching the top to be above others, but to use your story and your talents to lift them up so that they too can make an impact in our community. I'm very proud to be a part of MCS, a district that's focused on the social, emotional, and academic development of our students, and a district that knows that we are stronger when we work together and lean on each other towards a common goal, a collaborative, focused commitment on student success and growth. So thank you for rolling up your sleeves, for giving back, and partnering with us so that thank you for partnering with us, whether it be with your time, your resources, or your financial support, so that they too can be productive citizens in our community. Thank you. And now we would like to direct your attention to the screen to show you just how great MCS is with a highlight video of some of our great teachers.
I enjoy working for MCS just because of the community feel that we have in our district, being one of the bigger districts in Tennessee and still growing. I feel like we still have that small community feel where everybody knows everybody from central office down to individual schools. And I also feel like the support that we have inside our district is really good. There's always someone that you can go to when you have questions or need help. And that help is also pretty immediate. So I think that those are some of the points that I like most about working for Murfreesboro City Schools.
I love MCS because it allows me to be able to impact future generations. I think about the impact that teachers had on me when I was in school, and I still use things that I learned. I still think about teachers that I had. I still am in contact with my actual 6th grade teacher. So being able to be at MCS allows me to live out my dream of being a teacher and be able to really impact future generations.
Murfreesboro City Schools is great. We're a diverse, close-knit community of educators working together to put children first. I truly believe it starts at the top with Dr. Duke and his instructional team, followed by principals, educators, and everyone in between from start to finish, working together with students at our center, making sure that we are growing and empowering them to be the best versions of themselves. We provide them with rich and engaging opportunities so they can foster a true love of learning.
So I really enjoy working for John Figgard. We have amazing administrators
administrative support here. We have a very diverse school, so I really enjoy that. We now have one-to-one technology with the Chromebook, so the students have access to that. And it's really a great place to be at. John Pittard really feels like family.
MCS is great because we're problem solvers. We meet the needs of children regardless of the circumstances. I feel very supported in my building by our staff, by my admin. I can't wait for my own child to come here one day. Although each school has its different challenges, I feel that the goal stays the same, and that's the students.
Teachers in our district are what make us so unique. Not only can you go into any school building and feel the sense of community and pride with the students, you feel it with the faculty and staff as well. Our teachers prepare our students to be successful throughout all life skills, not just academics, but any day life. I have had the pleasure of having my children within this district as well, and I can say that it truly has been the best experience for them. They have built so many relationships and had such a great education provided to them. So when you join Murfreesboro City Schools, you're not just joining a school district, you're joining a school family.
That Miss Garfield loves to keeping our brains pumping and keep going, that she can make us always have a smile on our face, and that we can always keep learning from her. Because I love reading and I love seeing my friends and I love talking about stuff and learning.
I enjoy talking to friends and getting to know people and how Hopwood it just feels like a home and a safe place to have a second family here.
So I can learn and I can meet new friends. What I like about Black Fox is that the teachers are kind and they're helping with a lot of work and they have good conditions in the classroom. They have a great community and it makes me feel at home.
I've seen the greatest of Murfreesboro City Schools as a parent, a teacher, and an administrator. Serving at 5 of 13 schools, I can truly say that we are all unique, but we have one thing in common, and that is our desire to serve the whole child. I'm amazed at how quickly Murfreesboro City Schools responds to meeting the needs of our students, both behaviorally, academically, and even socially, emotionally. Our teachers are amazing. Our teachers show up, they work hard, they have heart, and they understand how to engage a diverse group of learners.
Murfreesboro City Schools is great because of our dedicated employees, supportive families, and most importantly, our amazing students. MCS has a clear vision for where we are going and strong priorities to get us there. There's no doubt about it, the best is yet to come for MCS.
You to start your day the way we get to start it, which is looking at the bright eyes, sometimes toothless grins of the students of Murfreesboro, and more importantly, the future of Murfreesboro for sure. So I want to say once again, thank you for being here. Our hope today was to say, hey, can you take the first hour of your day and get an update on where we are as a school? We truly believe that the schools of Murfreesboro City belong to the community, and that we are here to make sure that the future of this community stays strong, the future of this community stays bright, and we know that the work our teachers and our principals are doing every day are helping to make that happen. So thank you, Kim and Lance. We have a saying in Murfreesboro City, we call it the best of MCS, and from a personal level, let me tell you, Kim and Lance definitely represent the best of MCS. They are two of the hardest working teachers who day in and day out go out and give their all for kids. So thank you very much for representing all the teachers who couldn't be here today. So thank you for that. I also want to say thank you to Kim Young in Redstone. I think Kim is here still. There's Kim. Thank you for this beautiful space to let us come this morning. So we appreciate you opening this up for us. And finally, one group we haven't said thank you to yet is our central office staff, and they're around here. So central office staff, if you'll kind of raise your hand or stand up if you don't mind for me. This is a team that works so hard. You heard our teachers talk about the support they feel, and that's really because of the tireless work of our central office staff doing behind-the-scenes things to make sure our principals are supported and our teachers are supported. But we wanted to take just a minute to give you an update on where we are and as we come out of last year and come out of the pandemic and where we are looking ahead of. So this is our mission statement in Murfreesboro City Schools, and it's been our mission for a long time. And you saw it in the video and you heard from our teachers. It's to assure both the personal and academic success of our children. We know at the end of the day that we want our students to be achieving academically in reading and math and science and social studies, but we also know that the core of that is making sure that they feel safe and they personally feel they are supported. And I loved what one of our students said when she said, it feels like a second family here and I feel safe in this school. That's what we strive every day for all of our students, because we know when students feel safe, then all of a sudden those defenses come down and they're ready to learn, and we can do our true job of making sure our students are prepared academically. We do this with our circle of supports. I was at a conference earlier this week with state superintendents across the state, and someone said, your mission, your vision, your strategic plan, you should be talking about it so much that people roll their eyes when they see the slide again. And I said, with my circle of supports, I think we've almost gotten there. My staff specifically. But this is how we think about our work in Murfreesboro City. And that's with students at the core of what we do, surrounded by our teachers, our principals, and our school support staff. And we know that if we're going to improve as a district, we have to strengthen the core. And that means we have to work every day to make what happens between our teachers and our students stronger. And we have a lot of programs and a lot of departments that help make that happen. But at the end of the day, it's about improving what happens between a teacher and a student in every classroom and every desk across the state, across our district. So when we think about that, we have a lot to be proud of. And especially as we come out of this last year with the pandemic, there are so many things that we want to make sure our community knows. Currently, right now, we have 8 of our 13 schools who have now earned the designation of Tennessee STEM designated school. This is a very in-depth process to show that at our schools, we are preparing students for the jobs of tomorrow through science, technology, engineering, and math. We do that with our community partners and with hands-on learning experiences and giving students the opportunities to participate in the engineering design process. When I say we have 8 out of 13, to put that in context, we have the highest percentage of STEM designated schools of any district in the state of Tennessee. Yes, absolutely. This, of course, is a large priority of Governor Lee all the way down to make sure that we are preparing students for the jobs of tomorrow. And in many districts, that's really regulated to work being done at high schools. What we're saying in Murfreesboro City is starting in kindergarten, we want our students to know what these careers are, pique that interest, because we know if they see it, they know they can be it, and that's what we're focused on, and we'll continue in this great work. We've also been named an RTI Level Gold School district for the state of Tennessee, which is given out by Vanderbilt University through the Tennessee Behavior Support Project. And this is in relation to how we handle behavioral and our positive behavioral intervention systems we have in our students, in our schools, with our students. We actually have more gold level schools than any district in the state of Tennessee. Last year, we were named a Tennessee Best for All district, and this is how we're using our funding. You may be aware that we received quite a bit of money from the federal government post-COVID, and we are investing that back into teacher supports and student supports. The state has recognized that and given us the designation of a Best for All district. And not only that, but I really want to talk about our teachers, because they're the ones that get this done every day. It's our teachers who show up. It's our teachers who are working so hard. And this past year, we have really been able to celebrate our teachers at the state and the national level. First of all, we have Raven Brooks from the Black Fox Elementary School. She was named a Milken National Educator, which is one of the highest awards nationally you can get. There were 2 given in the state of Tennessee, and we are so proud that she received one of those. Absolutely. The purpose of the Milken Educator Award is to identify young educator talent in every state and to celebrate and recognize their accomplishments. So she went out to California, received her award, received the recognition, and we're so proud of Raven. We're also proud to say that Erin Nunley, teacher at Overall Creek Elementary School, was named the only finalist for the Presidential Award for Teaching of Science in Tennessee. The only Tennessee teacher to get that at Overall Creek. And again, that is the highest federal award given to teachers in math and science, and we're so proud of Erin. And you've already met Kim, and I'll say again, not only was Kim the Black Fox Teacher of the Year and the District Teacher of the Year, but she was named the Middle Tennessee Teacher of the Year for our state. And so this year alone, we see this great talent happening and see not only that we recognize the value our teachers are bringing, but the state and national level, they're seeing that as well. Now, I'm going to say a brag for a second. We got to go to a state dinner where they celebrate all the teachers of the year and the awards and things like that. I was a very proud director because they honor 3 different categories of teachers that night: Milken Educator Award, Presidential Award nominees, and Teachers of the Year. And Murfreesboro City was the only district to have teachers in every category. So again, great work from our teachers. So proud of what they're doing. We really believe that not only can all students learn, our mission in MCS is to say not only can they learn, we believe they will learn because of what we do. That it's our actions as the adults in the building to help create the environment where kids can learn. And we say we want every student, every teacher, every custodian and lunch lady and educational assistant and parent to say, in this district, we are known, we are safe, we are challenged, and ultimately, we are empowered. And we try to live that out every day, and I think you've seen a little bit of that this morning. One way we've done that is through the creation of our board's adopted 5-year strategic plan. And our board set very early on in my tenure that we wanted to have some really clear goals of what we were working for. You have a copy of the complete strategic plan today, and I'm not going to read it to you bullet by bullet. Lisa told me not to do that, so you can thank her for that. But we took that idea of being known, safe, challenged, and empowered, and we set out 4 clear goals and 39 objectives that we could look at and say, are we doing this over the next 5 years? And I'm going to quickly go and highlight a few of those. When we talk about being known, we say we want every student to be known through whole child programs and supports. That's a lot of the non-academic stuff. That's the behavior. That's their access to mental health care they need. That's making sure we're engaging our parents. So to highlight that, when you look at our plan, what you'll notice is our goal is for students to have access to school counselors and mental health providers in every school every day. We know coming out of the pandemic that mental health is something that we're very concerned about and something we want to be very proactive about. So we want to be the district where our parents know every child has access to mental health services every day if they need it. And we do that through great community partners. We want to make sure we're decreasing the percentage of chronically absent students and out-of-school suspensions. We know that being in school is the first step to success. Coming out of the pandemic, chronically absent students is something that really increased. And so we're really focused on decreasing that to make sure our students are in school. And finally, we're increasing parent participation and engagement in the schools. Again, just like we want the schools to belong to you as community members, we want it to be part of our parents' journey as well. And when they look back at their child's time in MCS, we want it to be a really positive experience where they say, that's a good part of our family stories. So as you look through that first category, again, you'll see, I think, 10 objectives to help us accomplish that work. Our second goal is around being safe. And here we want every student to have safe, equitable access to buildings, facilities, infrastructure that meet their needs. So kind of the supports around our students. That means we're making sure that all of our buildings are receiving the attention they need for capital improvements. We want to make sure that our security measures are solid in multiple areas. Of course, we know school security remains a top priority for everyone. That continues to be something we focus on. And we've taken real steps this year, specifically with our partnership with MPD, to help make sure our buildings are safe and our families know that when they drop their children off in the morning, that they're going to come home that night ready to learn. And finally, we want to make sure we're being fiscally responsible. We know that at the end of the day, our schools are funded through taxpayer dollars. and that you want a return on that investment. So we want to make sure that your investment you feel good about, you know we're doing that good work, we're being fiscally responsible, and we're increasing our fund balance to make sure we're prepared for future unprecedented things that may happen like we've seen in the past. When we think about being challenged, we want every student challenged because they're learning from highly effective educators and employees. And this is really about our teachers. We want to make sure we're retaining our most effective employees and ensuring competitive pay at all levels. It doesn't take much time watching the news to know there's a national teacher shortage. And we know that in Murfreesboro City, because of our strong partnership with MTSU, right now we are in a much better shape than many districts across the state. And we're proud of that, and our job is to continue that. And it's not just about recruiting new teachers, it's about making sure the teachers that we have now say, this is the place I want to be because I'm supported, because I have the needs I have are being met, and because I can do good work for kids. Because that's what teachers want. They just want to do good things for kids. And our job is to help make that happen. So we want to make sure we're retaining those employees. We want to make sure we're increasing our partnership with multiple universities, including our historically black colleges and universities. Kim shared with you our demographics, and I always think it's important for people to understand. When you look at our school system, the majority of our school system are minority students. And we want to make sure that our teaching staff reflects that and that we're getting the best talent from across the state, so we're increasing our partnerships with those universities. And finally, we want to make sure we're providing leadership training programs designed to identify and prepare our future leaders. We want to make sure that people that when they come to our district, our employees know there is a pathway to leadership in this district, and we're going to make sure we're preparing them for that as well. And finally, our fourth goal is empowered. And this is really the heart of our work, that every student will be empowered through academic success. Because at the end of the day, we know that if we're not growing academically for our students, we have to really step back and say, what can we do and how do we do this better? That's our primary job as a community school system. So one of the things we're looking at is we want to double the percentage of students scoring proficient on our Tennessee State literacy assessments over the next 5 years. That's a high ask. That's a high bar. In fact, the bar we set right now is higher than any district performed this past year across the state. But it's the bar we've set. Thank you. We think like we feel like it's a worthy goal, and we feel like, again, if we do nothing else as a school system, we have to make sure our students are literate. We want to increase the percentage of first graders who are prepared for reading success, going all the way down with early literacy. And finally, we want to continue to lead the state in STEM certifications and programming. We have been the leader in the state since before my tenure here, and our job is to keep that place in line. That's what we want to do. So when we think about this academic goal, I wanted to give you a quick snapshot of the data of where we ended last year. Last week, the state finally lifted the embargo on all state data and how we as a school system performed when we look specifically at English language arts and at math. I always like to set the caveat that the pandemic was not that long ago. And last year we were dealing with it probably more than we ever had before. Last year we had a 330% increase in the number of students who had COVID in our school system. Our chronic absenteeism was over 15%. And we know last year that we were really struggling just to get our students in the building because we had not only students out, but we had a 141% increase in teacher absences due to COVID. And those were not 1 or 2 day absences, it was 10-day sprints at a time. Despite that, we saw some huge gains. Specifically in English language arts, 40.2% of our students are either meeting or exceeding the expectations. That we had a 6-point gain last year in English language arts, which is astronomical when you look at that. And I'm proud to say when you go all the way back to 2017, which is when the rigor of the standards and the rigor of the test changed dramatically, we had the highest scores that we had ever seen, despite the fact that we had also the highest COVID rate and the highest chronic absenteeism. That's because of the work of our teachers, that despite those challenges, they really focused on our high-quality instructional materials, on meeting the needs of our student, and I'm proud to say after what was by far the hardest year we've had academically, we came out of it with the highest gains in ELA we've ever seen. So congratulations to our teachers on that. We're also proud to say that includes a 99% test participation rate, so that's a true snapshot of our students, And when you look at our subgroup proficiency, we saw gains in almost every subgroup across the state, across our district. So we're very proud of that as well. In math, we saw similar. We know that the hit from COVID in math was specifically hard, not just in our district, but across the country. What we saw nationally was math scores plummet after the first year. And we've had this slow gain back. Last year, we did see an increase despite the fact that many of our students had interrupted schooling to 43% of our students on track or mastered in math, which is a 3.1% increase. To put that in perspective, right now we are 13 percentage points above the state average in math. So even though we know we have a lot of work to do and our goal is to get back to our pre-pandemic levels, we are still seeing huge gains. In fact, the state average has finally caught up to where we went down to in the pandemic. So we continue to see great work being done in math. And again, that's because of a huge focus instructionally from our central office team and our principals. Much like reading, in almost every subgroup, we saw large gains in every subgroup, with our Black and African American subgroups showing the most gains both in English language arts and in math, which we're very proud of. So, I'm going to end with this, and I wanted to show you where we were. We believe this is really important. A quote from Theodore Roosevelt says, "Far and away the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work that's worth doing." And in Murfreesboro City Schools, we believe that this is really hard work. As we continue to recover from the pandemic, as we continue to face challenges socially and our students face barriers at home, we know at the end of the day, this is work that is worth doing. And we're working very hard to make that a reality for our students so that we continue to be a leader in the state and so that we can continue to be spotlighted, not because we're doing great things, but that our kids are doing great things and our students are making great academic gains, because we really believe that's what's going to keep the future of Murfreesboro strong. So I want to thank you for being here today. I want to thank you for taking some time to hear a little about what we're doing, where we're going, and where we ended the last year. So thank you for coming. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Lisa.
Thank you. I get to do the question and answer segment of this, but I do want to say, as I look around the room, we could not do this without our partners, and we appreciate you being here because we wanted to be transparent. Like, this is where we are. We have plans. We know where we're going, and we really, really want you guys to come along with us and maybe even be pushing us along the way to keep us look at your 5-year plan and say, are you doing this? Have you done this? Because it will change, as every 5-year plan should change. It will change as we go, but this is the point we are at today. So I cannot believe, first of all, the fact that I get to work with Dr. Duke is amazing. I'm always inspired by his leadership. We have a great leadership team. Our principals, everyone is working in the same direction. I don't know that every school, every district, or any company can always say that, but I can tell you from Murfreesboro City School perspective, we are going the same direction, and everyone knows where we're going, regardless of whether you are a new principal, or if you are a Tiffany Strevel who has worked at every school in our district because she started as a baby. So, questions and answers. Anybody have a question? Yes, ma'am.
I don't have a question. I just have a compliment. I have recently moved to the area to affiliate with MTSU, and I am just thoroughly impressed with the work that this district is doing, and I'm thrilled to continue the partnership that has already begun. So congratulations.
For those of you who do not know, this is Dr. Monica Smith. She joined MTSU 4 months ago? 5 months ago, and is doing outreach and many, many other hats on the lady. So thank you so much for that. Questions? Thank you for making that statement. I'll give you dollars later. Yes, ma'am.
Lisa, how are COVID numbers affecting things so far this year?
So, how are COVID numbers affecting things this year? I would love to give it to a principal to answer that question. I can tell you that we started the year with lots of COVID. It seemed like it was kind of a little scary those first 2 weeks. I'm like, oh, please don't be a repeat. But now we've gone down. I think just the same way what you see across our community is what we're seeing in our schools. So COVID has gone down. We are seeing the RSV that everyone else is seeing, and you know what? We're getting the flu. But it's not going to be like last year, and that we are grateful for.
And if I can add to that, I think that goes back to our huge emphasis on attendance this year. We have a whole campaign we're bringing back, which is Every Day Matters. We need students in their desk every day. So anything as you think about your work in the community, helping us talk to parents that at the end of the day, if they're not in school, they're missing that opportunity to learn for the day. And we need our students in school to really help not only mitigate what happened the last 2 years, but the huge growth we saw academically, despite those attendance challenges, we know we can continue to see those growth if we get our kids here every day.
The other part of that is the quarantine has gone down some this year. So although when the children are sick, they're sick, but we're not having to do the 10-day quarantines like we've had in the past. So thankfully. Any other questions? While you are a quiet group. Oh, hello back there.
The late Dr. Linda Gilbert, I think Dr. Duke knows about this. We had an opioid mental health town hall at my church, Parkway Baptist in Smyrna.
Mm-hmm.
And she had sent me a letter right before she had passed. I read it to the General Assembly, read it in the House Education Committee at least 8 times. Sometimes I think people don't want to hear what she had to say.
Do you want to come up here and say it? Come on, Representative Sparks, you can come up here. I will give you a microphone and a camera, and you're elected, so you know that's 2 good things. Sorry to call you out, but I'm watching them going, they really need to hear you.
Well, we had put together a town hall, opioid mental health town hall at my church, Parkway Baptist, and I think the partnerships with our nonprofits and churches are extremely important. I've seen Pastor McCarroll in the back earlier, and but at that event we had about 110 people. We had Judge Barry Tidwell, Dr. Brian Terry, Senator Donald White, and others that were there. Well attended, Mayor Ketchrin as well. But she had sent me a letter, and I think it's pretty profound what she said before she passed. I was going to read it, but I didn't have the internet. Couldn't sign in back there. I was going to read it verbatim. But she said, Mike, she said, the behavior problems of the 6 and 9-year-olds are like something I've never seen before. She said, they're disorderly disruptive. And she said something about, although the state's doing a good job, Department of Education, to try to find placements for these kids to go be assessed, we really need to look at this emphasis on the whole child and the increase of counselors and social workers. Sometimes I feel like I get pushback in those areas. So I just wanted to thank you for mentioning it, and I've been mentioning the whole child. I'm not an expert on education by no means. I don't even feel qualified to even talk about it. But if nobody else is talking about it in the Tennessee General Assembly, maybe I am qualified. So how many of y'all think that's an important issue on the whole child? Got counselors? I mean, 90%. Is there anybody that doesn't agree? Just raise your hand if you don't agree. So I've got 100% survey here. Anyways, I just wanted to thank you for that. Didn't mean to have the microphone or anything like that. But it, you know, her legacy, you know, me and her may disagree politically. I don't know. I don't care who she voted for. I don't care. I just care about those kids, care about the disconnect that I'm seeing. And I know y'all's heart got to get broken when you see if these kids can't read in the 1st grade, 3rd grade, 4th grade, 7th grade, 12th grade. Just got a text from a teacher. I said, hey, I'm going to be at this event. You know, what do you think? She said, childhood behavior, and we don't need to be passing kids that aren't ready, So anytime y'all want to call me, my cell number is 525-3198. I'm always willing to listen. Thank you.
I'll get this microphone back. Thank you for bringing up mental health, and I know there's so much to say.
It's something our board has been very focused on and has said from the beginning, how do we get more school counselors, how do we get more mental health therapists in our schools every day? And you saw it in our strategic plan. Our strategic plan is very clear. We want at least a 1 to 500 ratio for school counselors. We're very hopeful that we can decrease that in revisions of future strategic plans, but that's kind of the minimum. The other piece is to have 100% coverage for mental health therapists in every school every day. So what does that mean? That's different than a school counselor. That is someone that's there, that's licensed to say, hey, we know that there's a need here. Let's pull that student and let's work through what they may be dealing with. Unfortunately, a lot of the trauma that our students dealt with increased over the pandemic. And so it's us coming and stepping in and saying, if our goal is to raise reading rates, which we're doing and we're doing well and will continue to do, if our job is to increase math, we have to address those social emotional issues. Last year, we were really proud because we had about 60% coverage, which meant 60% of the time, students had access in that school building to a mental health counselor. This year, we're at over 70%. And that's through partnerships with organizations like STARS and Centerstone. This year, we actually hired a second full-time mental health counselor in our district that's on our payroll as well to help meet those needs. So we're continuing to do that. We have some exciting news coming out as a sneak peek about a possible grant that's going to help us get there even faster than we had imagined. So it's definitely a focus for us. It's definitely something we're focused on because, again, we know that this is what our kids need to be successful academically.
Anything else? Now that we have everyone talking. Yes, ma'am.
Dealing with our entryway, which is rather insecure, and also the office area, which is really inadequate for our staff there. We got a roof instead, which I think should just be part of regular maintenance, not anything really special. But that school, it deals with a lot of poverty and it's often overlooked, and I just want to see what other capital improvements are in the plans for that old school that we have.
Well, we do have capital improvement plans as part of our 5-year plan. Unfortunately, when we started looking at our dollars, just like everyone did, dollars didn't go as far as they have in the past because the prices went up and getting the equipment in didn't go as fastly, that's not a good word, as fast as we wanted. But Reeves Rogers, as well as Mitchell Nilsson, Hobgood, we had roofs put on because if roofs are leaking, that's not good for us. So we did have that, had a lot of paving improvements. We're still working on those dollars, but the things that we wanted to do didn't get done as quickly as we wanted them. Again, if we budgeted something that was going to cost $1.2 million, it ended up being $1.9 million. I'm looking at Mr. Tyndall. Please shake your head. Yes, everyone felt it. But I'll go ahead.
And I'll correct. If we budgeted at $1.2 million, it most likely cost us about $3.1 million. Is really what we were looking at. And we have dealt with, like everyone has, supply chain issues and really increased cost. And so as we came in and we set a plan and we saw the costs begin to rise, we had to adapt and we had to say, okay, what is next? And some of the projects we were hoping to do and do quickly, with some of the federal relief money, we just weren't able to do. Now, I will say Reeves continues to be a priority for us and our board. If you go back a couple meetings, Ms. Moore, who's here, actually asked us to go back as a district and say, I want you to go back, and I need you to look at Reeves Rogers and say, what else can we do, not just for the entryway of Reeves Rogers, but several schools that need some adjustments to make sure that, again, our buildings are safe and secure. So that we have not taken our eye off that ball. It is slowed down a little bit, unfortunately, due to all the construction issues and the increase in pricing everywhere. But the board still has their eye on that. Therefore, we still have our eye on that, and we're continuing to work through that.
Yes, ma'am.
Relationships with community partners. We have met, we've been talking as well about trying to provide counselors in the school system. The workforce shortage has hit hard, and as we work through that, I really look forward to us being able to continue to develop that relationship. But the school system's been so open to have us come in and assist in any way that they need us and that we can, and I really appreciate that. It makes a big difference.
We appreciate you guys, and we say this all the time, but I don't know that you know, even behind the scenes when I'm not looking you face to face, we're talking about how much we appreciate you, how much we cannot do without our community partners. And I will also say we are thrilled that our doors are back open this year. We are thrilled to have those community partners back in our building. We had Read to Succeed last Friday. Oh, it felt so great to look around and see the mayor there and to see our board members there and to see community members that I haven't seen in our buildings in the past 3 years there reading to our kids. So whether it's mental health or them just knowing our MTSU athletes are out there and about, they can see the possibility of the future. I walked in John Pittard Friday and was greeted by, I would guess, at least 100, maybe more student athletes from Oakland High School. It looked so great because they could see their high school peers all in their jerseys, whatever they were playing, softball or football, they all had on their jerseys. Those kids were so thrilled to see the high school students. They're so thrilled to see the college students. They're so thrilled to have business people come in to know that this is something I can do one day. So we have to inspire those children. And thank you for being a part of our mental health programs. Okay, we are staying on time. Everyone, our senior leadership, our principals, Dr. Duke, will all be here for a while. So if you have some one-on-one questions that you'd like to have answered, we are going to be here to answer those questions. Can we just one more time look around and see these Salem ambassadors and say thank you? Not only did they greet you, I'm pretty sure they complimented you, and I saw them shake your hands. I mean, that's more than most adults will do. So thank you so much, and thank you for having them here. See, I know you're thrilled with them right now.
And again, let me leave you with this, and thank you to Lisa and Lisa Van Cleve in the back who helped put this on. We're here to be part of this community and to make you know that you're part of our community as well. So thank you for coming. Thank you to our board members, and let me leave you with this. And I think Sherry said it best in the video there, which is we have a goal. We have clear priorities to help get us there. We're making great progress academically with more great progress to come. There are great things happening in Murfreesboro City. We want you to see that. We want you to be a part of that. So let us know how we can partner with your organization. Thank you for coming and have a great day.